Tafa in Niger State. And Muslims asked to look out for the new moon of Rajab on Friday, 12 January 2024. A very good evening, and thank you very much for joining us on the news at 7 p.m. on NTA Channel 5 Abuja. I am Mariam Abubakar Kana. Troops of the Nigerian military have arrested suspected extremists and kidnappers in the Buari Area Council of Abuja and Tafa in Niger State. Director of Defense Media Operations, Major General Edward Buba, announced this at the periodic news conference for updates on ongoing military operations across the country.
For the reports that have come concerning the FCT environs, as I speak to you, operations are ongoing at those locations. In the last 1 week, we have arrested several of them, and they are providing intelligence to support our operations.
Indicate that 40 kidnapped victims were rescued, 49 terrorists eliminated in combat, while 111 arrested in the last 7
There's
days.
mineral under the ground, right? So some people want that mineral. And to get that mineral, what do? They want to displace the community who is there. It's everybody's business. On the Kaduna-Abuja highway, where terrorists were going to cross the road and they were effectively engaged by troops. Unfortunately, some civilians were caught up in the crossfire. We were after them and they couldn't remain where they were. So they had to move out. And in the process, we still had to engage them. We cannot leave them. We have to destroy them.
Similarly, troops have arrested 30 oil smugglers, destroyed 60 illegal refining sites, 65 local boats, and 71 illegal storage tanks. Meanwhile, in a stick of crime prevention operations between 9th January 2024 to 10th January 2024, police operatives from Utako Police Divisional Headquarters arrested the trio of Chukwudi Okorie, a male 51 years, Chibuzo Okorie, female 43 years, both husband and wife, and Esther Gabriel, female 38 years, all residents of Akaraka Gwagwa FCT, in connection with series of robberies, specifically one-chance activities within FCT and environs. A statement signed by the command's public relations officer, Superintendent of Police Josephine Ade, says during interrogation, the suspects confessed to have carried out series of one-chance related activities in the FCT before their apprehension. A blue Mazda car with registration number FCT590EV and operational vehicle used by the syndicate to perpetrate their heinous acts was recovered from one of the suspects. The police also assured on apprehending other accomplices. The Commissioner of Police, FCT, Haruna Garba, wishes to reiterate his unflinching commitment to ensuring FCT remains a safe and peaceful place for residents to stay without fear from any quarters of the territory. Moving on. The Sultan of Sokoto and President's General Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs, Muhammad Saad Abubakar, has asked Muslims to look out for the new moon of Rajab on Friday, 12 January 2024. A statement signed by Professor Sambowali Junaidu, Chairman Advisory Committee on Religious Affairs, Sultanate Council, Sokoto, says Friday is 29th of Jumada Thani, 1445 after Hijrah, and the day to look for the new moon. The sighting of the new moon should be reported to the nearest district village head for onward communication to the Sultan. A life worthy of living is a life of glorification and worship of Almighty Allah, who has enjoined mankind in the scripture to ask Him for bounties and mercy. This description captures the moments and preoccupation of worshippers at this week's Nasfat Islamic Center Agudu Special As-Salat prayer session. Religious correspondent Abdullahi Ajia has more.
With a strong conviction in the assurances of the glorious Quran as complete guidance and manual for man, this special as-salat prayer was targeted at nation building in obedience to Allah's injunction on believers to pray for their nation.
Have love for your nation, for your society, for your home is part of faith that one have in Allah.
Of course, these men and women, including the youths and children, through the recitation of the glorious Quran, glorification of Allah, and salutations upon Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, are rededicating themselves on behalf of their country for Allah's divine intervention on the myriads of socio-economic challenges.
The essence of it is just for the general progress of Nigeria.
We are asking the Almighty Allah to direct the nation, to direct everybody.
The essence of the prayer is for Almighty Allah to give us peace in Nigeria.
We are making sure that we are organizing a series of programs to make sure that youth, they are being obeyed with the conjunction of Allah.
The worshippers who are using the climax of a 7-month-long intense spirituality pray for President Bola Tinubu to succeed in his renewed hope agenda promised to Nigerians. In Abuja, Abdullah Hajia, NTA News.
AMAC Chairman Christopher Zakame Kalangu has threatened to revoke the license of Technical Partners Diverting Council revenue. In a statement, Chairman Senior Special Assistant on Media and Public Affairs, Kingsley Madaki, directed Technical Partners to liaise with the Council's revenue officer for printout of demand notices. The Council acknowledged that it will consider any technical partner that fails to abide by the Council's bylaws on revenue as criminal-minded. Meanwhile, all technical partners are advised to desist from collecting cash from the public. The public is also warned against falling victim to fake revenue collectors. On to education now. There is no gainsaying that education is the best legacy that can be bequeathed to anyone and bedrock of every society. The critical need everywhere in the world is for education to prepare students to lead successful, fulfilling lives. In today's world, this means providing them with relevant educational backgrounds that nurture their passions, problem-solving abilities, and higher-level thinking skills, including critical. But how did the education sector of the FCT fare in the year 2023? Education correspondent Mariam George Jitibu guides us.
The FCT education system comprises the various subsectors with clearly defined roles geared towards the development of the territory. The subsector include the Education Resource Center, Secondary Education Board, Universal Basic Education Board, with the FCT Education Secretariat playing a supervisory role.
Continuous capacity building in the education sector is crucial for ensuring high quality and effective educational system. It enhances teaching, quality, student performance, professional development, and encouraging innovative teaching techniques.
According to the director, Dr. Nima Dawood Abdurrahim, the ERC in charge of placement and monitoring of examinations has recorded tremendous achievements in conducting and monitoring of examinations in the FCT in 2023.
So far, the 2023 has been a success, especially that we were able to do all our examination as at when due. We were able to do the book fair as at when due. The library division was able to conduct their summer holiday program where children were engaged positively, and we also involve Almajiri training program.
To further strengthen education in the FCT, Director and Secretary, Secondary Education Board, Mohammed Sani Ladan says teaching aid and entrepreneurial training were introduced in the FCT secondary schools to make the students acquire the necessary skills.
Very well. And what we want to add now is the entrepreneurship skills, so that they don't depend on the certificates and they don't have any skill to carry on with their lives.
And down to the junior secondary school, the chairman, FCT Universal Basic Education Board, Al Hassan Suli, reveals that the board has trained and retrained its teachers in line with global best practices.
Formerly, when a child graduates from primary 6, he drops out because there's no nearby junior schools we have to transit to. But now give glory to God that about 16 new junior secondary schools between last year and this year were established in various communities. The same thing with primary schools.
The FCT administration says modalities are in place to ensure that FCT children receive the best education possible that can compete favorably with what is obtainable in other climes. Mariam George, Jitubo, NTA News.
Some indigents of Karo community in Abuja have thanked the members of Ina Will District 910 Nigeria for providing them with free medical services. Francisca Belair reports that the non-governmental organization was established to touch lives.
Inner Wheel District 910 Nigeria was established on the 10th of January 1924 with the aim of providing humanitarian services to those at the grassroots. Today, being their 100 years of existence, this charity organization have reached out to the members of Karo community Abuja to provide free medical checkup.
Beneficiaries of this kind gesture say their joy knew no bound for the medical services, which include eye tests, pharmaceutical services, and cervical cancer.
My eyes have been disturbing me. I know the glasses are expensive, so I was like going to using the money I'm using for business now to go and run the test. I won't be able to continue the business. So when I heard about it yesterday, I had to rush down.
It's really important to me because I've been able to be educated. I was well educated on how to keep yourself clean and hygienic.
Meanwhile, District Chairman of Inner Wheel District 910 Nigeria, Adenike Bamishaye, says the essence of mobilizing medical experts for free medical outreach is to help improve the health of many Nigerians, as health is wealth, especially those who cannot afford their medication.
We felt that we should actually take it back to communities where we have maybe less privileged people that requires one help or the other. So the idea better was let's have like a free medical outreach.
Here to carry out a medical outreach specifically for the women of reproductive age to screen them against cervical cancer.
My advice to all Nigerians that is try to check up your body regular, because you wouldn't know. You will see someone walking on the street thinking that he's healthy, but the next day he fell down and he died.
This philanthropic organization, which is dominated by women, is appealing for membership as well as support from the government to help touch more lives so the world can be a better place. In Abuja, Francisca Bile.
On our AFCON countdown for today, let's join Abdullahi Ajia.
With about 48 hours to the 34th edition of the Africa Cup of Nations stacked Ivory Coast 2023, our countdown for today will be around the 6 stadia to host the 52 matches across cities of the West African country, who will be hosting the biggest African football mundial for the second time. First, we look at the Alassane Ouattara Stadium, commonly known as the Olympic Stadium of Ebimpe and formerly known as the National Stadium of Ivory Coast. It is a multi-purpose stadium in northern Abidjan. It was opened in 2020. The stadium, which hosts most of the Ivory Coast national football team, has a capacity of 60,000 seats. It is the largest in Ivory Coast with a modern touch of facilities. This stadium will host the opening match between Ivory Coast and Guinea-Bissau and the final of the tournament. The same stadium that will host the Super Eagles of Nigeria and Equatorial Guinea on Sunday. Next is the State Felix Haufe-Bergner Stadium, named after the nation's first president. Built in 1952 and opened in 1964, has 40,000 capacity and has gone through phases of renovations to meet modern taste of sporting event. It's also a heritage site for Ivory Coast, with the stadium being a part of African history since 1984. Stade de la Paix comes next. This stadium, located in Bouaké, stands as an iconic symbol for the Ivorians with a capacity of 40,000 seats. It's been part of the country's African history since 1984 and remains memorable for the country in a number of football matches. Recent development has brought expansion of the facility to include a media center and the seating capacity. Amadou Gon Coulibaly Stadium, located in Korogo, northern parts of Ivory Coast, is a newly built facility with a 20,000 capacity. It is designed as part of the AFCON 2023 legacy, which includes a natural grass field, an athletics track, and a broadcasting facility. Laurent Poco Stadium joins the list of stadia for the 2023 AFCON. Located in San Pedro, the stadium stands as an architectural beauty and a symbol of Ivory Coast cultural richness. It can house 20,000 spectators and more. Last and of course not the least is the Charles Konan Bani Stadium, situated in Yamoussoukro, the capital city of Ivory Coast. The stadium is a new addition reflecting the city's dynamic architectural landscape. It has a 20,000 capacity with a comprehensive media facilities and an athletic track. Now you know the stadia to host the 2023 AFCON. Beyond this, sports pundits and observers of African football say each of the stadium is not just a sports venue but a symbol of progress, culture and economic development, with commitment by Ivory Coast to enhance its sports infrastructure and show the world its readiness to host future events. Abdullahi Ajia, NTA News.
Thank you very much for watching the news at 7 p.m. on NTA Channel 5 Abuja. Do stay tuned for the translations. Good evening.
Yuzo kwa we wona na iwo abada zaza ishanda jezuma woni ye wagoba ngai abwada kauda nla gnabi azawa zawan yi gnaba pelege akina bayin mbwaya dodo ntafa ki nko lenu nanja ki gnabi bwada kauda ya no abada sapa na yo Edward Buba woni dade nsai nwe ye azaji we uba she ba jin tekno wu nanu etie nkwen we ngage bala aza goya no azawan be ku ba wa nle shini azanu ko ye ba ku ni mbabo zuwa ba aku ba shi ni chechwa gban ba wa ba wewe shinu akun ba taji gban chetu awoche gban kakara ba ta zanyi ban ba ngage azado mbala ba bai wi ami akuba wa nle shita amejimba mbate nalo nzoko shitnai oya noya shitnai che atnu amu bututu njesun shitna ba chegmai gnabe salaya nu aitinye osunu sokoto Muhammad Saad Abubakar wala agbaga asalaji nge nsu nkobelen ajumari makaje piaye ko ne an piegun awochi aba babe kai epia wewewe no ayiko nsalak bege ra jabi Professor Sambo onwono jinshin peje danu ko gbedogunye sala yiyan wagnage nsu nkobelen kono golo eje epia weye no tigana kono lolo epia na ayiko ge ju madai ozanu weje epia ko yin agan obe gan akimi kokwa saji won wole vivi we na bai agan sultan Sheko Mwasa Shinkpaye da municipal gwamnati bibi a kinzin da ya Christopher Zaka mai kalangu wala a tnabwaki. A za in ba na kun na jilo nun aje bai go gadu municipal yanya in gai a za wata shi tuntun na in zoko wa ba kuma wo a maya bada nun wo a tuntun shi ba na yi wa Kingsley Mandaki wane dade wo ngage aza mbane jinle ba na wado ba go gadi nge ba to jin apa gadian ga azan te aisa ba mbane filo nu puwa miyun wo ngage azana jowo wa we go gadi epia aba yiwoge wo jin efinu ba nte jin aye jana wo tamaje aba wa wole lainu saizu.
Masu kallo da sauraron mu a daidai wani lokaci assalamu alaikum barkanmu da warhaka ga takaitattun fassarar labaranmu na yau wasu daga ciki mai karantawa Yusuf Yakubu. Jami'an sojin Najeriya sun kama wasu masu tsatsauran ra'ayin addini da masu garkuwa da mutane don neman kuɗin fansa a ƙaramar hukumar Buhari da ke nan birnin Abuja da kuma Tafa da ke jihar Niger. Daraktan rundunar tsaron ƙasa Manjo Janar Edwin Buba shi ne ya sanar da haka a taron manema labarai na lokaci-lokaci da suka saba kiran 'yan jaridu domin yi wa al'ummar ƙasa bayani akan yanayin tsaron ƙasa da aikin da suke yi tukuru na tabbatar da tsaron rayuka da dukiyoyin al'umma, inda ya ce suna samun nasarori a fafutukar da suke. Mai alfarma sarkin musulmin Najeriya Muhammad Sa'ad Abubakar ya buƙaci al'ummar musulmi da su duba jinjirin watan Rajab gobe Juma'a 12 ga watan Janairu 2024. A jawabin da shugaban kwamitin harkokin addini na fadar mai alfarma sarkin musulmi Farfesa Sambo Wali Junaidu ya sawa hannu ya ce gobe Juma'a ita ce ranar 29 ga watan Jumada Thani wadda take ranar duban farko. Shugaban ƙaramar hukumar birnin Abuja da kewaye Ama Christopher Zakka mai Kalangu ya yi alƙawarin karɓe lasisin kamfanoni masu karɓar haraji wadda ke karkatar da shi ta wasu hanyoyi. Ya bayyana haka ne a jawabin da mai bashi shawara na musamman akan harkokin yada labarai Kingsley Madaki ya sawa hannu, inda ya ce ƙaramar hukumar za ta ɗauki waɗanda suka yi kunnen ƙashi da batun harajin a matsayin marasa gaskiya. Ƙarshen labaran namu ne kenan, sai kuma gobe idan Allah ya kai mu, asuba ta gari.
Igbo bụ Igbo ekele m unu nọ na akụkọ nke uhuruchi taa na nkenke Okwudilichukwu Francis Idenyi na-akọpụta ya. Ndị agha ala anyị anwụchigo ndị ekperima n'okpuru gọọmenti ime obodo Buhari nke Abuja nakwa Tafa dị na Niger steeti. Onye mgbasa ozi nke ndị agha ala anyị bụ Major General Edward Buba kwupụtara nke a mgbe ọ na-agwa ndị nta akụkọ okwu n'ime Abuja. Akụkọ a na-ekwu na mmadụ 49 atọrọ nwere onwe ha ebe ememinara ndị ekperima duru mmadụ 111. Emebikwara ọtụtụ ebe a na-esipụta mmanụ agbịdị n'ụzọ megidere iwu ala anyị. Sultan nke Sokoto bụ ma bụrụkwa onye isi gburugburu nke okpukperechi ụka Islam na Naịjirịa bụ Saad Abubakar agwala ndị Muslim ka ha malite lewe anya ọnwa Rajab echi bụ Fraịde abalị 12 nke ọnwa mbụ a n'ime afọ 2024. Okwu a nke onye binyere aka n'ime ya bụ Prọfesọ Wali Junaidu, onye isi oche kọmitii na-ahụ maka ihe gbasara okpukperechi na Sokoto, kwuru na ụbọchị Fraịde bụ abalị 29 nke ọnwa Jumada Thani nke afọ 1445. Onye ọbụla hụrụ ya bụ ọnwa ga-agba ama mee ka Sultan nke Sokoto mata maka ya bụ ọnwa ọhụrụ. Onye isi oche nke AMAC bụ Christopher Mekalangu amaala ọkwa hoha na ọ ga-anapụ ụlọ ọrụ ọbụla na-anata ụtụ isi n'ime AMAC ma na-ewega ya n'ebe ọzọ ikikere ha nwere iji were na-anụ ụtụ isi. Okwu a nke sitere n'aka onye enyemaka ya ka o si metụta mmekọrịta ụlọ ọrụ ya nakwa ọhaneze bụ Kingsley Madaki. Ọ sị na ọtụtụ ụlọ ọrụ nnata ụtụ isi na Abuja anaghị ewetacha ya bụ ego ha natara n'ime akpa AMAC. Etu a ka ọ ha anyị n'ọnụ, gị bụ onye ọma kiriri anyị n'uhuruchi taa, ka ọ dịkwa n'echi mgbe anyị ga-ezute ọzọ. Ndewo.
Jẹ́sìn sí gbọ̀nyìn láti ẹnu Mobọ́lájí Mátì. Ọwọ́ àwọn ọmọ ogun lórílẹ̀‐èdè ti ba àwọn ọ̀bàyéjẹ́ àti àwọn ajínigbé ní ìjọba ìbílẹ̀ Buhari àti ní agbègbè Tápà ní ìpínlẹ̀ Niger. Olùdarí ètò ààbò Ọ̀gágun Edward Buba ló gbé ọ̀rọ̀ náà kalẹ̀ níbi ìjókòó ètò ìròyìn lórí iṣẹ́ gbogbo tí wọ́n ṣe lórígun mẹ́rin orílẹ̀‐èdè. Ìjókòó náà mẹ́nuba ìgbésẹ̀ gbogbo bí wọ́n ti gba 51 kalẹ̀ lọ́wọ́ àwọn ajínigbé àti bí ọwọ́ ti ṣe ba àwọn ọ̀daràn tó lé ní 100 ní ọjọ́ mélòó kan sẹ́yìn. Sultan ti ìlú Sokoto tí ó tún jẹ́ ààrẹ àjọ ìgbìmọ̀ ọ̀rọ̀ ètò Islam Muhammad Sa'ad Abubakar ti ké sí gbogbo mùsùlùmí wípé kí wọ́n gbójú sókè fún oṣù tuntun, oṣù Rajab, ní ọ̀la òde yìí. Nínú àgbékalẹ̀ tí alága ìgbìmọ̀ ètò ìgbaninímọ̀ràn ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n Sambo Wálé Junadu jọwọ́lù sọ wípé ọ̀la òde yìí ní ọjọ́ 29 oṣù Jamad. Ẹnikẹ́ni tó bá rí oṣù ọ̀hún kí ó fi tó àwọn olórí agbègbè létí láti fi ṣọwọ́ sí Sultan ti ìlú Sokoto. Alága ìjọba ìbílẹ̀ Ahmad Christopher Zaka Maikulungu ti kìlọ̀ wípé òun yóò gba ìwé àṣẹ padà lọ́wọ́ àwọn alábàáṣe tó ń darí owó ilẹ̀ sí àpò ara wọn. Olùrànwọ́ lórí ètò ìròyìn Kingsley Madaki nínú àgbékalẹ̀ rẹ̀ rọ gbogbo àwọn tí ọ̀rọ̀ náà kàn wípé kí wọ́n jáwọ́ nínú ìwà pálapàla yìí. Ẹnikẹ́ni tó bá sì lòdì tàbí kọ etí síkún sí ìgbésẹ̀ yìí yóò ríra rẹ̀ gẹ́gẹ́ bí ọ̀daràn. Wọ́n fi àkókò yìí rọ àwọn náà wípé kí wọ́n jáwọ́ pátápátá. Wọ́n sì rọ gbogbogbò bákan náà wípé kí wọ́n má ṣe bọ́wọ́ sí ọwọ́ àwọn ayédèrú òṣìṣẹ́ tó kì í dùn kó pọ̀. Ṣéun ní ọbẹ̀ oge títí ìwòye ọ̀la. Ojúmọ́ ire ni yóò mọ́ wa.